kind of like a, I think people like Mike because I'm kind of a unique kind of character.
And I have
I love like
You just see how games and possessions are more intense, how they mean more.
I'm not putting him on.
I think the U.S. is going to obviously win.
Hello and welcome to the 11th hour. I am your host, Harry Krinsky. I am joined with crypto Gen Z rug pull expert Patrick Redford. Patrick, what is going on with this Haktua lady? I'm hearing it's the apotheosis of bag culture. What does all that mean?
I'm actually, as a plaintiff in this lawsuit against her management, as someone who lost, let's just say, something in the high five figures. I'm actually not allowed to publicly comment on this, but I do look forward to my day. And that's why I was motivated, of course, to write about this.
Right, because you wanted to, you wanted your story to be told, etc.
I was a sincere believer in the project, and then, it's like a real loss of innocence moment. But I think it's going to make me a poorer person, but a stronger person all the same.
This has now suddenly become a Haley Welch crypto podcast, but it is so, the access point for some of this crypto talk is so insane, and we saw it on your MSNBC hit, which I want to talk about. So first of all, what was it like going on that? What's the whole story there?
I was supposed to go on Monday.
And did somebody did you just get an email from an MSNBC producer?
I did. I think the medium version of the story is basically that like the day it came out, someone read it or like talked about it on, I think, Chris Hayes' show or something. And then someone at work was like, someone's going to email you, like, this is kind of how these things work. And then they did. Mm-hmm. And I was supposed to go on Monday, and I was like pretty nervous the whole weekend. And then Monday they bumped me, of course, back to Thursday. And then in the morning I had a conversation with one of the producers where they told me, yeah, you don't need to and probably should not say spit on that thing. Like we can move past that. That's fine. I asked explicitly. I was like, as a way of introing her, like it's kind of unavoidable that like this is sort of, and they're like, yeah, don't worry about that. And we talked about what the shape of the conversation would be. And I was encouraged by a friend who's done TV to like script out some longer answers, which I did. And that is not the direction the conversation ended up going in. So I was forced to riff, but I think it went really well. And I honestly, I'm happy to have done it. But then last night in Sacramento, my dad was like, gathered the family around. He's like, all right, we're going to do this. And it's pretty embarrassing, but he was like, we're mostly doing this because I want you to see what commercial comes on immediately after.
Oh, that's
And it's
funny.
like, the segment ends, screen goes black, and then it's like urinary incontinence pills being advertised against it. So it's like, all right, this is good. I've been humbled appropriately.
That's really funny. Well, no, it was so great with for those just jumping in. Hey, maybe for those who have come to nothing but respect from MSNBC, thank you. We're trying to kind of widen the tent. That's fine, regardless of your media diet, as long as you eventually pay us. That sounds great. No, but it was fun. It was cool to see you on TV. And it was interesting, like how because it's a very complex story. I think that's what's interesting about the piece you wrote is like you're taking on this really complex idea, and then it gets like I was seeing you try, and I think succeed at doing the hard work of like, how do I articulate this very complex thing in 90 seconds? It actually, thinking about it, made me have empathy for kind of TV analysts, for like sports TV analysts who end up needing to complicate or like have these complicated ideas about how an offense runs, and then you just need to be like De'Aaron Fox needs to go downhill. Like that's how that happens is the time.
Well, this actually gave me more appreciation. Actually, I think the Timothée Chalamet conversation is like, I was kind of thinking about where I realized like, I don't really like, I want to appear smart and say good things, but the more important part is just to not speak too fast and not look visibly nervous on screen. And that was like the main thing. And I also tried to use words that your dad would not be aggressively put off by. So,
which I think in general, you hit for talking about crypto in a way. I mean, talking about like the intersection of like mimetic humor and crypto and post irony. Yes, it was you were describing it in layman's terms, which is the name of the game, I think. I was on a similarly prestigious media. I had a similarly prestigious media hit, which was the Middlebrow podcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is actually a great show. I have to say, hosted by Dan Rosen and Brian Park, two comedians who were actually recently in a J. Crew ad. So I am like 1 degree of pod separation from like a J. Crew ad.
White boy stunts and perfect J. Crew ad. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's exciting, but that comes out I think on Christmas. So go check that out.
Dude, my family and I are going to gather around. I'm going to connect to the Sonos sound bar, and we're going to bump that.
Well, so I actually will it's hard. I was on this video podcast, and it's mostly kind of like an art and culture pod, but I was coming on to talk about like the sports stuff, and I started talking, and I was trying to do a bit of a layperson thing because they know about sports, but probably not as sort of neurotically, insanely as we do. And I got a little bit ahead of myself, as someone's one to do. And I think Dan was like, "Oh, so are you saying players shouldn't have a podcast? They should just shut up and dribble?" And which is like he was totally right to kind of like razz me on that or whatever. But it was a reminder of like just how many layers of entry there are, where I'm like, I want players to express their ideas, but I want them to not be on these fucking podcasts.
Yeah, you can critique podcast P from the left, I believe, which is something you do in our text conversation almost weekly. I to take you behind the curtain, I get some form of I'm being further radicalized by this, and it's like the most bullshit YouTube thumbnail after Paul George shoots 5 for 17, and I'm like, I kind of think Harry's losing his mind, but like in a very productive direction here.
No, it's true that there is something about podcast P's, and he is particularly radicalizing to me, honestly, because he actually is a very good and articulate media member. Like, he's actually good at it.
Yeah, he's like charismatic enough.
Yeah, and like I think he's gonna have an excellent like whatever post media basketball media career, which is like again almost what is radicalizing me more, because I'm like, this is you. That's great. I love that you're good at this. You know, like this is not a hobby. You are too good at this for how bad you are on the court, that this is like, you know, there's something. Draymond skates a little bit because Draymond's pod, I think, is so haphazard and insane. And it's still,
it's so crazy.
It's just like him in a mic being like, or with the mic being like, you know, I just was flailing. I didn't kick Steven Adams in the nuts. Like,
or
just
like, after losing to the Celtics in game 1 in 2022 when they made 1,000,000 threes, and he just gets on the mic and he's like, bullshit win. We're going to win. Like, that's just shooting. And like the fact that he was right was so crazy.
Yeah. So, anyway, wait.
I have a transition.
Oh, perfect.
You know, a perfect thing for Paul George, what he should do is he should play in the 2025 NBA Celebrity All-Star Game. That's his actual basketball calling right there.
There you go.
He just has to carry around like a directional, like a mic, and play in headphones, and then it's like a fair enough handicap.
That is actually that's a great stunt. No, I mean, so
he has to record an app while playing. He has to like talk into a lapel mic and just like hit a three, and then ask someone on a remote call like, "What was your welcome to the league moment?"
Mm-hmm. Like, what are those NBA like where they wire in the guys, like, but it's usually them just being like, help left, help left, help left.
Ice.
It's that, but it's like him talking to Kevin Hart, being like, like, what's Jamie Foxx like? You know? Yeah, like, what's the other side of Kai Sinet's stream look like? And Kevin's like, oh yeah.
While he's defending Arne Duncan, the Secretary of Education, just like asking like, what's something people don't know about strip clubs in Atlanta?
People eat lunch there, you know. It's not just for stripping. Like, it's like, okay, all right, get back on fucking defense. No, we're talking about this is around the time where pundits everywhere start the way too early MVP talk. We're already hearing about that. We're talking about the way too early Eastern Conference All-Stars. Western Conference All-Stars is, you know, did Dennis Schroeder get traded out of what would have been his first All-Star appearance in the East But what we want to do is we're trying to find our lane in media. So we're going to do the way too early 2025 NBA Celebrity All-Star Game participants. And I have to give credit to my brother. We were playing basketball last Tuesday, and we were on the same team, and we had lost, so we were just sitting out, and my brother looks at me and he goes, I've had a premonition. I'm like, oh, what? And he's like, Haley Welch, 2025 MLB Softball All-Star Game.
Oh, yeah. That's going to... She threw out her first pitch of the Mets game, right?
There you go. Yes, I'm sure. Yeah. So she did. Yes. And that just really hit me both as like feels sort of self-evidently true that that's going to happen. But also we then just started talking about the who's going to be in the 2025 NBA Celebrity All-Star Game. And it actually started to be a kind of funny conversation about the celebrities of the moment, or at least the NBA adjacent celebrities of the moment.
Yeah.
So that I want to do a draft of going back and forth picking who, in order of basically we are trying to pick the team of most likely to actually be in the Celebrity All-Star Game.
Yeah.
Going back and forth. But before that, I actually got sidetracked because I started to do some research, and the research for the Celebrity All-Star Game, I could not stop laughing. So at first I want to hit you with some trivia. Who do you believe has played in the most Celebrity All-Star Games? NBA Celebrity All-Star
I'm gonna cheat and do two guesses.
Okay.
One is Kevin Hart. I feel like he's always there. Two is former Obama Secretary of Education Arne Duncan. I feel like that fool was always getting buckets. He was always playing, and like this was in the cultural moment where it's like knowing ball had like its highest sort of like cultural cachet. Like Obama doing his bracket and like appearing to have like good NBA takes was like a really slick way for him to like market himself and like get into culture. And like he was never going to play in the Celebrity All-Star Game, but he had like his representation essentially, and that was like the Obama presence. So those are my two guesses. Am I wrong?
You could sort of chart the cultural history of the 2000s by which of Obama's weird detritus lists matter the most to culture. And so like for whatever reason right now, it's like him leaving off certain A24 movies seems to be the sort of center.
Yeah.
Which I think speaks to the culture. Whereas in like 2016, him picking like Virginia to lose in the first round was whatever the center. So great guesses both, but no. The number one participant is Nick Cannon, who has played in a whopping 10 Celebrity All-Star games.
He's like he's gonna go in the Celebrity All-Star Hall of Fame. He has enough. When people talk about his stats, they don't do the small sample size caveat. They're like, look, this is 10 seasons. This is who he is. He shoots 12% from three and has 75 turnovers per 36 minutes.
Yeah, you know how like Simmons is always bent out of shape about like people are gonna look back at Karl Malone's career and think he was a top 3 player in the league, but he was never, whatever. They're gonna look at Nick Cannon's counting stats in the Celebrity All-Star Game and think like, wow, he must have been quite the Celebrity All-Star bucket getter, but he's not. He's actually never won an All-Star, never even seems to have. Yeah. Okay, who do you think has won the most MVPs?
This has to be like a real athlete, right? I mean, I'm gonna continue my Arne Duncan guess because I feel like he won at least 2 MVPs.
Arne Duncan has won an MVP. The answer you actually did. Actually, you were close with real athletes. So the two. So Kevin Hart has won the most. He has won 4. He won the 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015.
Dude, generational run.
Yeah. Though in the 2014 Celebrity All-Star Game, he renounced the MVP and gave it to Arne Duncan.
Wow.
And then the only other person who has won multiple Celebrity All-Star Game MVPs is Terrell Owens, who won back-to-back in 2008 and 2009.
Something that was happening in basketball as mirroring the Kevin Hart, reign of terror is Steph Curry doing cool stuff for the Warriors as a tiny little guy and becoming the best short player to win a championship. So one wonders if he's walking in the footsteps of giants there. If like maybe Kevin Hart primed, or like the NBA was doing an op to prime people to like respect the work of short guys by giving Kevin Hart the MVP. Because obviously, like, you know, we're talking Celebrity All-Star Game. People love celebs. It's bigger than the real All-Star Game. So it's like the Steph Curry MVP run is downstream of Kevin Hart. That's the thesis.
Pace and space. Yeah. I like the idea. Now I'm trying to think of like who would be a funny European celebrity to win the All-Star Game that people are like, a European big man won the NBA All-Star Game. The league's in trouble.
Yeah.
Or like
yeah,
cousin
like
Greg.
the Icelandic strongman who played the Mountain in Game of Thrones wins the
Yes,
and it's like,
yes.
man, white culture is really having a moment. This is fucked up.
Jacob Elordi drops 20 and 15. People are like, I don't know. I mean, he's Australian. That kind of counts.
Is he Australian?
I think so. I know he's not American.
He's some sort of Commonwealth type guy. All right, anyway.
I want to just list off.
Oh, yeah, he's Australian.
Okay, bang. I want to list off the run of most valuable players in the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game, because it talk about another way of telling the cultural story of the 2000s. Okay. 2003, 2004, no MVPs. Then from 2005 all the way to 2024, here are the All-Stars, or the MVPs. Brian McKnight, I have no idea who that is.
Oh, yeah, singer.
Nelly, Tony Potts, Terrell Owens again, Michael Rappaport,
Oh, boy.
Justin Bieber, Kevin Hart, given to Arnie Duncan, Kevin Hart, Win Butler, Brandon Armstrong, Quavo, Famous Los, Common, game not held due to COVID-19 pandemic, Alex Toussaint, DK Metcalf, and Micah Parsons.
Damn. So it's just been an NFL player run.
The last couple, yeah.
Damn.
So
I'm trying to figure out what the trend line is. I mean, the Win Butler winning randomly before being Mega Cancelissimo is the funny one that sticks out to me there.
yeah, and the last little like. So I was going through some of the games, and all of the games.
You were eating the tape? You were
Yes, I wasn't eating the tape, but I was crunching the Wikipedia. I was kind of more doing.
You were on Synergy breaking down Terrell Owens' pick and roll ball handler, and like he needs to cut off he needs to like attack a little more.
He gets his like he's not snake dribbling enough. No, but I was looking for NBA All-Star games that like jumped out as particularly hilarious. The two that just killed me are the 2007 All-Star Game and the 2013 All-Star Game. The 2007 All-Star Game, head coaches Greg Anthony and Tim Legler.
Nice.
The Eastern team had people that stick out to me are David Arquette, Tay Diggs, Bobby Flay, Nelly, LaDainian Tomlinson, Carrot Top, and Chris Tucker.
God, that's a beautiful. I feel 15 again. That's like a beautiful vertical slice of culture. Bobby Flay in particular is the one where I'm like, yeah, that dates it in like a really fine textured way.
It's just the West was Bow Wow, Reggie Bush, Nick Cannon, Tamika Catchings, Jamie Foxx, and Tony Potts.
Okay, the Tamika Catchings thing is interesting, and I feel it's like mildly disrespectful to have actual WNBA players put in this like sort of joke framework game. Like these are like actual real legit hoopers, and it really does not sit with me well that like someone like Jewel Lloyd is being treated in the same register as like Kai Cenat as like fake hoopers. Like that feels a little fucked up to me.
Yeah, I agree that it's because totally that how I remember the like WNBA All-Stars or WNBA players for all of my childhood were part of All-Star games. Like that's the Celebrity All-Star games. And I think it's probably a delicate thing where you could look at it as in those early years exposure for the league, but then at a certain point it was like, yes, this are we reducing this to like a sideshow in which is like never what the league wanted it to be. And then I guess there's like the it's I agree with you. Short answer is like that it's or maybe the best framework is that it hasn't aged well. Like I don't want to see that many of that going on in like like if Angel Reese is in the 2025 All-Star game, I would kind of be like, okay, well then fucking put De'Aaron Fox in the WNBA Celebrity All-Star game, which
He's
actually, now that I
too.
think about it, would be kind of sick.
Well, I do sort of see your point that like there is a sort of marketing angle of like you do want the WNBA to be part of it, and I remember they used to do like the Shooting Stars thing, which is like
so awesome.
The format of that was so funny, but I distinctly remember like. I guess I say distinctly, but I forget who it was. But I think it was Candace Parker who was just like splashing half-court shots or some shit, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
So what they should do is just have Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark play one-on-one.
In front of everybody.
In front of everyone. And then they just turn the music up louder and louder with each bucket, and it's this like total... Actually, that would be too on-the-nose 2025 race war themed. We can't do that.
Right.
That I don't like having that thought. I disavow
really
my previous comments.
I liked the Ionescu Steph Curry 3-point.
That was cool.
That was super sick. So like maybe some other stuff like that.
They should do a version of that, but like it's Angel Reese and like Domantas Sabonis trying to get rebounds against each other. That would be
I
fucking
like
cool.
that. Yeah, Angel like Angel Reese, Sabonis, Andre Drummond,
like Isaiah
and
Hartenstein. Just beating
and
the
then
shit
like
out of each other down there.
yeah, doing like a shell drill.
Yeah.
Maybe Jonquel Jones throw her in there.
Oh yeah.
That could be sick. Okay, the other one I wanted to give you was the 2013 NBA All-Star Game, Celebrity All-Star Game, which you may remember. There's an iconic photo that came from this. Iconic in fucking brain dead people's minds.
Oh, I think I blacked out most of 2013. What happened there?
I'll give you one of the people who is in the iconic photo. Tell me if you can remember the second person. The one person who participated in this All-Star game was Usain Bolt.
Ooh. Okay. I don't think I remember. This isn't a Kevin Hart situation, is it? This is one of his MVP years.
This is one of his MVPs. Okay, I'm going to read it all.
Yeah.
So, head coach LeBron James, assistant coach Queen Latifah, other side head coach Kobe Bryant, assistant coach Samantha Harris.
That's
pretty
beautiful.
Hilarious. Yeah. The East had Usain Bolt, Nick Cannon, Neo, Trey Songz. Those were kind of the main people. The West had Common, Clyde Drexler, Kevin Hart, Arnie Duncan, Dikembe Mutombo,
Hoopers.
and Ryan Russillo.
Now we're talking.
There is a photo of Ryan Russillo taking a fadeaway over Usain Bolt. That is out there.
That's amazing.
For the freaks. Okay, last list I want to give you because I want to prime you for 2024 because I found the 2024 one to be extremely informative as we do our draft. The 2024 was head coach Shannon Sharp, assistant coach 50 Cent. Other side, head coach Stephen A. Smith, assistant coach Lil Wayne and Asia Wilson. So they're doing some culture jamming.
It's good stuff.
Mika Parsons, Connor Daly, Quincy Isaiah, Jewel Lloyd, Kai Sinet, Dylan Wang, Lily Singh, Sir, the singer-songwriter, Walker Hayes, Onwell AA, and Puka Nakua. And then on the other side, Jennifer Hudson, Meta World Peace, who's changed his name again, according to Wikipedia. Jack Ryan, AJ McLean, no idea who that is. CJ Stroud, Kwame
Onwuachi?
Yeah. A chef. No, I don't know who that is. Natasha Cloud. So there is a W. There was. Oh, okay. There are two WNBA players. Jewel Lloyd is in there. Adam Blackstone. Gianmarco Tiambre, the Olympic high jump champion. Tristan Jazz.
Oh,
and,
he has the bussin' haircut. He's that guy who like tried out for the G League team. Yeah.
Yes, he has the bussin' haircut. And McCole Hardman. So with all of that being said, it is a interesting framework for talking about who the it's almost like looking at the XXL freshman classes year after year, where you will get some stars who will stick around and then you will get some who won't. And there's also like, it's a helpful litmus test for like who is trying to be a celebrity for 17-year-olds, I think.
Yeah, the like every year they do this, and there's like, even when basketball was like in a higher, like when it was like more ascendant in the culture, like I feel like we've talked about, like now it's sort of in a lower place a little bit, but like even then when I was like the person I thought was being marketed to, there was shit that was too young for me, like even as like a 25-year-old.
Yes, totally.
So you're so right is my point. I will admit I sort of misunderstood the assignment, and so I have an iPhone note here with some celebs that were like, oh, who should we want in the game? So can I read you some of my nominees?
Yes, that's great, because I also have a and you can get thinking about this afterwards. I had I wanted to surprise you with the Nothing But Respect Celebrity All-Star Game.
Okay,
Who would
we'll
we
do that.
want?
We'll do this later then.
Okay, well, so then let me give you my list, and then you can react, and then we'll go into the Nothing But Respect Celebrity All-Stars. Okay, here is my big board. With the number one person I would take is Travis Hunter, the Colorado Heisman winner. He's featured in Bleacher Report. He's on he's doing like windmill dunks on House of Highlights.
That was a crazy clip.
Yeah, he's athletic. He's a bucket, like seemingly. He's on he's on Kaisenet's stream. You know, he's everywhere. So he's my number one guy. Number two, Big Justice. Oh
yeah, I knew the Costco guys were going to show up. Is he the little one or is he the big one?
He's the medium. He's not the Rizzler. He's the medium sized.
Right.
Because I feel like the Rizzler is like too little to play.
I will show you. He is the first name on this list that I typed up. Well, you remember there's that great moment in the preseason where at a Knicks halftime show they like did like a mini Knicks Celebrity All-Star Game with like Vinny from Jersey Shore, and then like the Rizzler was there, and there was that great photo of the Rizzler walking back to the bench, and someone was like, "Knicks season is cooked. They got the Rizzler playing minutes off the bench."
Wait, why don't we let's actually go back to the draft, because I got a look of your list and it's closer to my list than I was thinking. Like I think we can do the draft. So I went Travis Hunter, you went Rizzler, I went Big Justice. Who's your next pick?
My next pick, and this is sort of like I'm forecasting an Arne Duncan given by Kevin Hart MVP type run from this figure, is Michael Rubin. You know, he what is this like? If we're talking about this game and like marketing to celebrities and stuff, there's another angle of just like a lot of like tension of the NBA fandom, which is a little bit embodied by this podcast, is like trying to sell what is essentially like a black cultural product to white people. And who is more obsessed with his proximity to black culture than Michael Rubin?
I love it. Yes. Even like it just like now I'm imagining everybody's in the kind of branded Ruffles jerseys, but he's in like a full linen white outfit, you know, with like a Flava Flav chain.
Or he's like trying to prove that Fanatics doesn't make stuff that just disintegrates. And then he runs into a screen and his jersey just like vaporizes into like a million little threads. That would be
yeah, like one of his testicles like pops out of the kind of like spandex jersey he's wearing.
This is my favorite story of the baseball season, is like the Fanatics jerseys just totally falling apart and being see-through, and you being able to see everyone's dicks and balls through the terrible pants they made. He
is on such an iconic run. Like
he's great.
The white party into Fanatics into whatever else, like his association with James Harden and Little Baby. It's perfect.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that's my pick.
Okay, next one. I have Francis Tiafoe.
Oh, that's a really good pick. He knows ball.
He's friends with Jimmy Butler. He's
big Mavs guy.
Yeah, like he is going to be there, and I bet he sucks at basketball. He seems like a little two-handed ass jump shot guy.
So I love Francis. Like as
Me
a tennis
too. I like
player,
him
he's
too.
great. His movement style is so funny. It's like his ass is like a little. He has a huge ass, and he has like sort of like a duck-footed, like kind of slaps around at the ball. So I could see him like in the way that he has this like great grace on the tennis court through like interesting physicality. I could see that totally not working in a basketball sense.
I think that's exactly right. Like he strikes me. You ever play pickup basketball with guys who only played soccer? And
Yes.
You can tell they sort of only like they haven't realized that you can run not in straight lines.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of how I would imagine Tiafoe playing. Like having the athleticism perhaps, but not the kind of clarity of thought to realize you can like duck or bend or jump or whatever.
Tiafoe, he's had 2 great U.S. Open runs in the past few years, and I think because he's like a Black American tennis player, it's been really cool. In sort of the post-immediate Serena era, it's been really cool to see like how much everyone loves him. Like he does seem like a really cool guy. Like when he lost to Carlos in the semis like 2 or 3 years ago, like LeBron was at the matches, everyone was tweeting about it. Getty Nathan was there, and he was telling me he ran into Ben Simmons in the stands during that first Tiafoe run.
That's awesome. Yeah, and he does. I'm not so tapped into tennis, so I am open to being wrong about this, but he does seem like he's walking that middle ground where like Alcaraz is this sort of unknowable machine, of greatness that is kind of interesting but boring in how kind of great it is. And then you've got the guy who gets in all the trouble and retweets Andrew Tate, who's kind of like a live wire with the backwards hat. He wears Jordans. The fuck's
Kyrgios?
Yes, Kyrgios.
Yeah.
But Tiafoe is threading the needle well, where he seems kind of authentic and himself and really, really fucking good, but not like bombastic or mimetic.
Earlier this summer, this is a crazy tangent, but I actually do think it's sort of interesting. Is like earlier this summer, he was on this like horrible run. Like he redeemed his season at the US Open, but like he was like really losing a lot. And he gave this quote where he was like, man, I keep losing to clowns. Like no disrespect, but like these guys fucking suck and I shouldn't be losing. And then he lost again to like a clown the next week. And like, if I was someone who beat Francis earlier this summer, like that would really motivate me to go fuck this guy up.
Yeah.
But like most tennis players, they're so boring and have no personality because the mental strain of playing tennis is so immense. And so you either have to be like basically like Carlos, who's just like this like pure bastion of joy, like he's so fucking cool, or someone like Novak Djokovic or Jannik Sinner, where you're just like a tennis robot. And so like the fact that Tiafoe is willing to say that makes me like him. It's like he's willing to be interesting and wrong, which makes him a perfect participant for the NBA
in the Celebrity All-Star Game. Right. Okay, who's your next pick?
My pick is it's a controversial one. It's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, and I'm not going to explain it. Is Woah Vicky.
Dude, that would be awesome. That would be really cool. Yeah. I have a few people like that later on. Yeah.
Imagine the Rizzler setting a bone crushing screen and Woah Vicky comes around it. Like we're going to get buckets.
The that famous Dwight Howard versus Shaq ISO.
Yeah.
That, but it's Ivy Woke and Woah Vicky at the top of the key. Whoa, Vicky, just tween. Okay, nice. I've got Noah Lyles, another kind of like member of the sort of like Bleacher Report manufactured consent apparatus.
Yeah.
He can, but instead of playing, he just like debates Ja Morant about if they should call it the national championship or whatever the fuck he was saying, or if it's harder to run 100 feet or dunk or whatever.
The way the nature of that, he was sort of right, but the nature of that argument was really weird. Where it's like, I feel like he was picking at attention that like I don't really think anyone gives a fuck about.
Totally.
The Golden State Warriors as the world champions, like, oh, they didn't beat like, Zydrunas Ilgauskas' like Lithuanian team. Like, come on, grow up.
You're so right. He was arguing with nobody.
Yeah.
And when it wasn't even right, he was it was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was like pure. That's like the most pure, like ungrounded, made up sports argument that was like perfectly timed with a media cycle or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's just that, pick it out of a hat. But respect, and he's a great athlete. He can run fast.
You actually transitioned sort of well into my next pick, which is, I'll explain the narrative first. So this is a big redemption season for John Morant specifically. Like a lot of the ratings chatter, I think it has reached a sort of one avenue has been somewhat interesting where people talked about like, oh, Zion, it's really Zion's fault because he's a fat porn addict and like he was supposed to be the face of the league. And it's like, okay, Ja was also in that draft class and like that is also sort of a problem for NBA marketing. So the way to rehabilitate him is to have his dad, who's always sitting courtside and trying to fight people, be in the celebrity game. Because then if he shows out and is cool, that's like, that redeems the sort of like the Tim McMahon had this big, like very hand-wringy story about just like running back like the 2004 like gang influence, like kind of like it was a fucked up thing.
Jaws posse is too big.
Yeah. It's like kind of related to the Kawhi Uncle Dennis stuff, but with guns. And so if you have Jaws' dad show up and like smile and have a good time, the NBA, it's like a huge win for the NBA. So
that's genius. Yeah.
And if him and Woah Vicky do a high five, we'll have solved race relations.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah. It'll be a real win for sort of identity politics run through kind of like the most mentally unwell, internet addicted people on the planet. It would be a big win for them. They'd be like, finally, dude, we got some adults in the room.
Yeah, if you have takes on that, you should be your internet access should be gated. But seriously, respect.
Okay, next one. Speaking of uniting the country, Ella Emhoff.
Oh yeah, she sat courtside at Liberty games. We know she knows ball.
She knows ball. I think she's tall. She is lives in Bushwick, I think. And I just feel like she's might be a little too politically charged, obviously at this point, but like she's the type of famous that if her reps go to her and are like, the Celebrity All-Star Game wants to have you, she's saying yes.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I would. I think. The way she is famous is sort of interesting to me. Like, I feel like in the immediate post like 2020 election, she was like kind of this caricatured ass character where like it was like people weren't quite making fun of her, but they were just like, damn, that's crazy. But like she does seem cool and normal, and I think would be a cool participant in this game on your team. But you know who she's gonna have to guard? Okay, so 2025 All-Star Game is in San Francisco. What are two things that are kind of having a moment are ascendant techno-fascism and I guess that is both of the two things in one. So who should take the court is Sam Altman.
Yes,
OpenAI CEO.
And what about Sam Altman? You know, because the NBA is quietly, or perhaps not so quietly, a total techno-optimist league, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Adam Silver surely in February will announce like, we've figured out how to like, you can watch the entire game from Chris Paul's eyes because we've like brokered a deal with the player union that we can put a camera in his eye and whatever, and like watch it on the MetaQuest. So yes, he will be in it. What I would like is like, what if Sam Altman is like wearing some kind of insane wearable?
Oh yeah.
It's like Sam Altman X Waymo, where he's got like jet boosters in his feet where he can dunk somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, some sort of vaguely autonomous enhancements.
Yes.
I'd be into
you
that.
know, hopefully it doesn't like malfunction and or somebody like cones him or something.
Yeah.
Ella Emhoff cones Sam Altman at center court.
Yeah, we would hate to see that happen.
Yeah.
We don't want anything bad. We don't want him to get his dick all fucked up in a car accident. We don't Just to be clear, that's like not a good
Please,
thing.
nobody bring a giant magnet to the Celebrity All-Star Game and see if you can like cartoon style foink him to the wall. Nobody
Don't
do that.
Yeah. Just want that on the record.
Yeah. Okay. I have a few more that are just are some obvious ones. Sam Morril, friend of the show, Knicks fanatic, and actually pretty good. I think he could be in it. And then Jason Kelsey. The ascendant athlete podcaster into Celebrity All-Star Game pipeline seems to be real. Micah Parsons and CJ Stroud, who co-host a podcast together that nobody on the planet has listened to, despite every episode getting 6 billion views. They are both. They were in the last year, so I think we could see Kelsey in there.
The way to do it would be have Kelsey and Stroud and Parsons conduct a podcast like through the podcast P idea during the game. Like that would be a really fun. I would listen to that probably.
Me too. Yeah. I guess they probably do wire everybody up for those kinds of games, but like, what if we wire them up and instead of like, what if it ends up being kind of an athletic salon of the time? So like, instead of talking about what to do on defense, they're like TikTok ban, unethical or, helpful globalist policy. Like I just want Mika and CJ being like, man, like I see both sides of this one, but
like people really are getting radicalized in this Palestine shit. You heard about that? And then it's like, oh shit, Ella just popped one from the corner. God damn it, we got to get out on defense.
Okay.
I have a number of I was like, okay, we have to get someone political in there, but who would the NBA do who like represents, who is like the right person? So
politically neutral enough. Yeah.
I here's 2 rejections before I got to the real answer. One, Vivek Ramaswamy. He puts a lot of footage out of him playing tennis, and he does. I think Giddy could crush him, but he's not bullshit.
Right. He does look good. Yeah.
He wouldn't do it because, he's probably too racist, and it's like the NBA wouldn't want to do that.
They're saying no. Yeah.
Joe Biden, but from the AI Chinese song, just that version of Joe Biden. Unfortunately, not possible until the Sam Altman ushered in VR 2027. So the real answer is Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
He's from California, and he's like he's
mayor of San Francisco at one point.
Former mayor of San Francisco, psychotically invested in becoming president at some point, and he would be like. The thing about him is he has evil swag. He is like the prime example of the phenomenon of evil swag, where you look at him and you're like, that's like, he's a handsome guy. He's like good. He's really good on camera, but like, man, there's some darkness there. And so I would love to see him just get too invested and just totally like get his shit kicked in by Jason Kelsey, but then like come back and try to give him buckets on the other side.
That it's a great one. They like the thing I see being kind of an issue there is that like the NBA and Gavin Newsom's team reaching like a complete standoff where Newsom refuses to wear basketball shorts. He's like, I will be wearing a slim fitting navy blue Yves Saint Laurent suit, and that's it. And so I will be playing in that. It is off brand.
The closest they could get is like rolling up his sleeves on like a long sleeve white shirt.
Exactly. That is the closest. Exactly. Like he's like, fine, I will wear the Perry Ellis Nike collab with the crazy air bottoms of dress shoes. I will wear those. Dude, Gavin Newsom is like could totally be in.
I don't know if he would. I think the NBA would want him more than he would want them. But like, this is one of those that I've talked myself into.
And I could see him again, and I agree. Kind of unfortunately, I could see him being a bucket, like kind of sneakily.
Dude, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a few kind of thought provoking ones I have are there needs to be some new rappers in there because there's not enough like Common and Bow Wow, like all these old rappers, like none of these new rappers are in there. I nominate Benny the Butcher. I kind of feel like he would be good at basketball. He just seems like a rapper who would be good at basketball and is the level of famous where like, again, the kind of reps could there's a deal zone there between Benny the Butcher and the team. Maybe Babytron as well. The big one, my kind of like Gavin Newsom coup one, where I'm like, this could and probably should happen, is Matt Ishbia.
Oh yeah, because he's a former college hooper.
Yeah, like Matt Ishbia cooking in that game, I think is worth handing out, throwing $2 hot dogs into the arena.
I think Young Thug would be a cool participant. Sort of like redeeming, like give him a victory lap after beating the case. That would be fucking cool.
Or
Young Thug's lawyer, also cool.
That is literally what I was about to say. Young Thug's lawyer, and at Young Thug updates or whatever the Pulitzer Prize winning.
Oh man,
Twitter
that New
account.
Yorker story was so good about the Young Thug updates.
Yeah. I would love to see them. Okay, I have a. Here's my list for people who wouldn't be in it, but if the NBR people, if they listen to us, this is who there's some overlap with Eurovision. What you were talking about? Okay, first one needs to happen. Barron Trump.
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
6'9" Barron Trump. Just nobody's ever seen him talk, but he hits a sky hook or something over.
He played youth soccer in DC at like a decently high level.
I remember, yeah. Seeing like 2 or 3 photos of that. So Barron would be up there. Ivy Woke up there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Brian Johnson. I want to see Brian Johnson play. Because it's like, okay, you want to be young forever. I kind of understand that abstractly, but I part of me feels like much like the Fanatics jersey. If he like runs into a screen, something like really fucked up will happen.
Yeah,
like that he'll like immediately have a seizure.
Yeah, it's like, he's found a way to make his blood spin 12% faster, but like at the price to facilitate like crystal transfers. But then if he runs into a screen, it'll like suddenly go in the wrong direction and like his heart will explode.
It'll like explode out of his big toe in some kind of like weird pressure release thing. And then like Tarantino style dies.
I think you're onto something, because if he wants eternal youth, the purest expression of youth for me is like hitting a crisp elbow jumper and keeping your hand in the cookie jar like a little too long. So
I couldn't agree more. Like he is like aiming to be whatever 35 for as long as possible. It's like, dude, if you're 35, you're fucking Mike Conley. Like you're not getting another deal. You try to be
your last contract, bro.
Yeah, try to be 22 for as long as possible. Bobby Altoff, the kind of proto Hawktua.
Don't hear so much about Bobby Altoff these days.
No, yeah.
What's she up to?
My guess is she, to your kind of point about the Hawktua meta being continuing the dance forever via various scams and appearing in news, whatever. Like the music stopped for her, I suspect, from like a algorithmic juice or whatever. So I hope she's doing okay. This one's just for my SF heads, but San Francisco prep school coach Randy Basolo.
Randy P.
Yeah, no, Randy B. Randy Basolo.
Okay.
He's fucked up. Like he's kind of got a Gavin Newsom thing going, but like has led the university high school basketball team to innumerable BCL West championships, and just is a bit of a San Francisco legend. So if it's going to be an SF, he can be in there.
Ray Ratto, that's who I would nominate as another SF person.
That would be great.
I've hung out with Ray. I haven't seen his jumper in action, but I would love to see him just stand in the corner, pop a 3 or 2, talk shit the whole time. Like we got to get him out. He could
also be mic'd up.
Yeah, he should be mic'd up.
Paul, last couple. Paul Scalise, Lindy Man.
Oh yeah,
would love to see that. Obviously, I'm rooting for him wherever possible. Jill Biden was one.
Yeah, Dr. Jill.
Jill would be cool. Kind of as she's like allegedly getting Joe Biden to there was some quote that came out in the Daily Mail that was like,
Oh, yeah.
Jill is telling Joe to go sicko mode.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Jill is sending the steam nose emoji to various White House group chats, and the meaning is unclear.
Yes, exactly. Jill, yeah, that's hilarious. Jill Biden.
Also,
go ahead.
2025 Bay Area, you got to get Nelly Bowles in there.
Oh, yes. Dude, great idea. Nelly
Yeah, 'cause-
Bowles.
And she could just write about how wokeness has ruined this Celebrity All-Star Game. Like, great free press, Substack, synchronicity here. That would roll.
Oh, my God. Nelly Bowles once interviewed me at a, here's a little lore. Interviewed me. I was at a 2019 Stavros Halkias comedy show at the Stand, and she was going around asking people if they liked Come Town or Red Scare. And one of my friends was like, Harry listens to Come Town or something. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
Don't say that.
Yeah. And then me and Nelly and my friend Dave chatted for 15 minutes, and a few things happened. Nelly was, I feel like, trying to get me to say that I got my political ideology from Red Scare and Come Town. And so
she's
kept
leading the
being like,
witness.
That was my, and I had no idea who she was. Like at this time, I just thought it was like, oh, a reporter for the New York Times is talking to me. But I left that call being like, what's going on? Like, why is this woman just keep trying to be like, I mean, it's okay if Red Scare informs your political ideology. And I was like, even at my point at the time, which is still my point now, is that all of those things are like politically incoherent pieces of performance art that you can enjoy or not enjoy, but like you have to treat them as such.
Yeah.
And she was just not having it. And then
She was just like, no, you're supposed to say this made me a communist who says the R slur all the time.
Exactly.
Like, sorry,
Like-
that was the prompt. You fucked up.
right, which was like the meta at the time. Like now, obviously this is like before
Yeah.
Red Scare's kind of turned. But anyway, so I could reunite with her. I could be like, hey, that was weird that you did that.
Be a great link
but also
up.
she could be a bucket. Yeah.
I just like, I mean, obviously she's sort of like taking this big right wing pivot with Barry and stuff, but like, I just remember when she wrote like, the crime wave is real and I'm a victim because I left my keys unlocked in the cup holder of my car and someone stole it.
Mm-hmm.
And she wrote that with a straight face, which is so fucking cool.
In like, a really long, that was like that really, really long, like SF is dead piece, right?
Yeah, it was related to the actually Chesa Boudin, who would be a cool Celebrity All-Star Game participant.
Oh, dude. Chesa Boudin getting booed at Chase Center.
Oh man, yeah, get him out there, and then like Gary Tan subs in for Sam Altman, and like his little 5'2" ass runs at him with a machete, trying to just chop his head off for like the crime of like not trying to throw every black person he sees in jail. That would be let's make the culture war literal on the floor of the Chase Center.
Chesa Boudin getting booed, but then like the DSA contingent being like, no, they're saying boo, like Boudin. They're not booing him. They like him.
My favorite Boudin conspiracy is that like his whole origin story is like his parents were in the Weather Underground and like he was like comes from this like radical heritage, but then a lot of the cynical people who are like very against him but like kind of know like how to like left punch and attack him are like, Boudin, the famous San Francisco sourdough bakery, are we sure he's not actually secretly the heir to the Boudin fortune? Which is like not true, but is like very funny if that's the case they're trying to make.
It's also like, how much do we think is there one Boudin bakery left in SF? I know that there was one on 10th and Geary when I was 9. Like how much money is the Boudin bakery fortune?
I think that's the only one I know of. So I don't think the young Boudin heirs and heiresses are like going to bar part-time or anything. Like I think this is like probably not a huge fortune.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I like that attack. That's good. Yeah. So this is all like we're spitting, cooking with gas here. The last couple I had were Brace Belden get the worked up. I mean, he would be like awesome, obviously from the Bay.
Another participant in the live podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then Jamie from the Joe Rogan, like the producer of the Joe Rogan podcast. So those are my main guys. Oh wait, no, did I give the rest of my? I'm forgetting if I gave my woke takes. Oh yeah, no, those are all of them.
That's good. I really like this roster. I think we're gonna have a really fun game. Probably better than the real one, I would say.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk. I want to talk a little basketball, a little contemporary basketball before we get out of here. Something I was thinking about as I was sort of thinking about the editorial journey of the Nothing But Respect podcast is we have talked very little about the NBA Cup.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of makes sense. I mean, there's not too much to say. Do you have any kind of lingering thoughts about year 2 of the NBA Cup?
I respect the Cup. That's like the main thing I want to get out there. I think I'm like generally pro Cup. I think the best game of the season was Warriors Mavs when Clay went off and then Steph went off and won, and like that was a Cup game. And it's kind of impossible to tell if like the Cup atmosphere like made it any better, and I don't really know if it did. It was sort of a bummer that like both every game the Thunder played in Vegas was like ass, and it would have been really cool if like they had this big run and like put on a good showcase. Honestly, my takes are not super strong. I do like that the financial. It's like you're playing for money, whatever. Like you have to find a way to incentivize it, and it's like you don't want to give them like an extra second round pick or something. So like, how do you tune that down? I do like that like an end of bench guy can like double their annual salary by like happening to have Giannis as a teammate, and then like the idea of like the worst player on the Bucks all of a sudden getting $500,000 and then being in Vegas for like 3 days is like very fun to imagine.
I completely agree, and it is also, to me, that's the funniest and most interesting thing to come out of the Cup that hasn't already been said about the future of the league, blah blah blah. Is this that the central story seems to be like how awesome would it be if a two-way guy got $500,000?
Yeah,
which is such a human like relatable story. That is true. That is the first thing I think about when I think about the Bucks winning the Cup or when the Lakers last year. I'm like, damn, dude, can you imagine how fun that is? And that, in a way, like the incentive, the NBA may have stumbled into something, because if you have championship aspirations, if you're Giannis, if you're whatever, I suspect it's a fairly galvanizing moment to get the bottom of the bench guys $500,000. Like and that creates this sort of team building turbo boost that you're looking for, that isn't so abstract and sort of deferred down the line that like, why would anybody care? So to me, it's like, it seems they're actually in a decent spot. Yeah.
And I don't know, it's sort of hard to talk about this without, well, like while decoupling it from like the larger like ratings thing, which we like haven't really talked about, because I think when we do, we need to like really do, like we really need to think about it like very deliberately ahead of time. But like, it's interesting to see like basically this is the league's attempt to like have the NBA matter while football season is still going. And I think this year, like what's going to happen, I'm just going to predict a discourse cycle here. On Christmas Day, usually that's like the NBA's day, except there's 2 NFL games this year on Netflix. And the story coming out, I guarantee you, is going to be like, wow, lowest Christmas Day ratings in several years. It's because of like, and people won't say, but they'll imply it's because of wokeness or whatever. And the NFL is the American league. And like, I think the NBA Cup is sort of like the way in which they structure it sort of shows how they're conceiving of their competition with football. It's like the games are on Tuesdays and Fridays, which are like 2 of the main football list days. And when a lot of people talk about like what's wrong with the league, there's too many games. I've heard this kind of take cohere where it's like there should just be fewer games, but then they should always focus on like have days of the week. Tuesdays and Fridays, those are NBA days. So like the ways in which it's structurally interesting is as like a pilot, like a test pilot for stuff like that.
Yes, that is a good point about how there's, if it is true, like if you're buying the idea of owning days as a like long-term strategy for the league, then you're totally right. It's their way to kind of like dip their toe into that. Which I don't know. This has nothing to do with. This is now me just fully projecting. I have no. This isn't about good for the league, good not good for the league. I like that you can watch a basketball game every night.
Yes.
That's like but that's
Same.
just that's just me personally. I enjoy that. I like that I can watch the Warriors play every 2 or 3 nights, and then I can watch whatever game I want on some other night.
Yeah.
And so.
Like I've already planned it. At some point tonight while cooking dinner with my family, I'm going to go put on Clippers Grizzlies.
Yes.
And then at some point someone will be like, what the fuck are we watching? And I'll be like, don't worry, like, just don't worry about it.
That's all good. Yeah, don't worry. Brandon Boston's in. So that actually transitions to a stat I want to throw at you as a way of talking about the trouble in California, because many of the short of the Clippers who sort of had low expectations, the California teams are in trouble. And I came across an interesting stat, which was looking at the top 18 people of like high volume, low shot quality players. So they're basically mid-range jumpers.
Yeah.
5 of 18, almost a third of them play for either the Warriors, the Lakers, or the Kings. Those are De'Aaron Fox, DeMar DeRozan, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Jonathan Kuminga. I have a whole thing. I have a thought. All of those make sense basically, except for Kuminga, and probably DeMar. Honestly, is like he shouldn't be a high volume. But talk to me about what the deal is with Kingsland. I'm seeing people are freaking out about wanting Kevin Huerter to play more or Kevin Huerter to play less.
They want him to be extradited to a country that will execute him.
Got it. Okay.
It's really, things are really fucked.
You guys are in 12th place in the East, right? I mean the West right now.
3 games below 500. I mean, there's 0% chance they make the playoffs this year. Like maybe they make a valiant run to the 10 seed, except I think every team above them is like better and more well suited. It's really like, it's been a number of trends coming together in this like really concerning way. Like the DeMar thing is like, okay, he's like a better player than Harrison Barnes, but like the good thing about Harrison Barnes is that he had like a 12% usage rate and would just stand in the corner and let the good players do stuff.
Right.
And like they have their offensive system, like the Sabonis handoff thing has like diminishing returns because it's not that hard to defend. And if Keegan Murray is spending all of his time guarding LeBron James, he just like isn't the same player on offense. And then it's like if DeMar is getting the ball, it's a DeMar possession. It's not like in the flow. It's like he's just going to take a stupid 18-footer. And like Mike Brown seems to be doing a pretty bad job, like in over his head, coaching wise. And this all sort of came together with 2 or 3 days ago when there was a report from The Athletic that like Rich Paul and De'Aaron Fox are like meeting with Sacramento management to like talk about some stuff. And you like look at the way they've lost the recent games. Like it's stupid heartbreaker against the Nuggets, stupid heartbreaker against the Lakers, stupid heartbreaker against the Lakers, and then losing on family night for the second consecutive year to the Pacers, which Sophie Lewis, who abolished the family, could only be proud of. But like the Fox thing is now like, oh, this is gonna get bad pretty quickly. Like I'm gonna watch them play the Pistons in town in a few days, and if they lose, then I feel like it's like over. But
like over like Fox trade demand.
Yeah, I think basically him and his representatives meeting with management is a way to say like, I think it's already over. I think it's like you do that to basically say we don't want to take this public. Like we all want to protect our reputations here. None of us wants this to get out, but like talk to this, like call the Spurs right now and let's get that going. But the thing that really has me feeling black-pilled is like, I think he's maybe the only guy with positive trade value. Maybe you could talk yourself into Keegan or like Keon Ellis, but like what team on Sabonis is on a huge deal. Like what team is going to give up real stuff for a big who can't block shots or like kind of needs the ball in his hand a lot on offense. Like it feels pretty dire around there. And like, I love Fox, but I would almost rather watch him win 4 titles with Wemby than like continue to go Sisyphus mode with the Kings.
Well, and Fox, I haven't been following the Kings super closely to comp releases, but by the numbers, he's having a career year. He almost seems to be making the jump from like really, really good guard to like, one of the best 6 guards in the
dude. He's incredible
in the NBA. Yeah, and he's doing it. I mean, so he is. Let me confirm this. He, I believe, is at the top of the list in terms of shot difficulty and shot difficulty. Like he is taking and making really, really hard shots, which is a if you can do that over the course of a year, that's what superstars do. They take and make really, really hard shots.
I'm like, he's gotten better as a defender. He's gotten like, he's an incredible advantage creator. Like, and that 3-point shot has like finally come around this year.
So my big question about the Kings is if you go back to 3 years ago when they were the 6th seed and played the Warriors to a standstill, and then De'Aaron broke his finger. The consensus, and I would say seemingly correct take for the next year was like, okay, they regressed a little bit to the mean. They're still good, but they weren't as good as they were because they had great injury luck and whatever. But now that I'm looking at this like 3-year sample size, it's more. I don't know what to make of it. Like, was it because they haven't made bad or even radical team building decisions? I like the Monk deal. I like that was good. The general structure of the team. I even like the DeMar deal when it happened. I guess I have 3 theories. One is that it is just like that 6th or that 3 seed year was way more of a blip than we realized.
It was totally the product of injury luck to every other team. Like, if you look at the 5 or 6 teams behind them in the standings, it's like, they all, like, Devin Booker got hurt, Lillard got hurt, like, that was when Andrew Wiggins was on his walkabout. Like, every team below them was all fucked up.
So there's that. Then the second one is this basically Sabonis people figured Sabonis out. That there was like
Kevon Looney specifically figured Sabonis out.
Yes, Kevon Looney specifically did, certainly in that series. But just even that over the time, like almost having the Harden thing where if you see the DHO 30 times game over game, eventually you figure out how to guard it, and it becomes, it's still, I think, a good NBA possession, Sabonis DHO, but it maybe isn't as good. And then the third thing is basically a kind of like DeRozan vibe implosion. I don't know which of the do you see all of those as
I think the second one is the most interesting point. Like so everyone always talks about this. In 22-23, they had the highest offensive rating in NBA history. And I think their success that year was basically Mike Brown figuring out with his personnel, like, here's the offensive theory. We're going to run really fast and like going to do this sort of hub DHO thing. And they were right there. And then they have never improved the roster or made further innovations to that. And the rest of the league has caught and passed them by. And now, like, watching them against the Pacers last night, everyone understands, like, don't take Sabonis seriously as a scorer. You either just get in his face or you just totally back off and just defend the other action. You're playing 4-on-5 on defense. And if you don't have Herter and Keegan Murray having these like crazy career shooting years, which they had the year they won all those games, then like there's just not, like, unless it's Fox and Monk doing stuff, like there's not that much that's like threatening about them.
Yeah. And so this wasn't a Kingsy implosion. This is like, it's really hard to win a championship and windows close and you guys built a good team, but then it seems like maybe you've missed your window. Is that your reading on it, or is there like a deeper like sliding doors moment that you're like a kind of James Wiseman style sliding doors moment?
I think that's basically it. I mean, after not consolidating and building on the 3 seed team and like getting aggressive in that offseason when they could have had Pascal Siakam or OG, I think that was what fucked them. Because and like, this is the thing, is like team building and player development and all this is like a series of risks. Like, you are going to get these things wrong because there's no, like, if there was an obvious path, everyone would win a championship every year. And the bet was basically that Keegan Murray could become like prime Rashard Lewis, that like he could be the third star and like a good wing. And instead he is just kind of like, he's like he's a good player, but like the fact that he was the only wing on the roster and they just kept drafting point guards, that kind of fucked him. And like, we sort of talked about this with Auk yesterday or like last week, but like you sort of yearn for the spiritual annihilation of the rebuild. Like when there are no stakes, when like your team is just kind of in charge of losing in the draft pick, that's like, it takes the temperature down. You're like, hey, I can relax. Like I know the game doesn't matter. And so like, I've unfortunately kind of talked myself into wanting like Steph Castle and like 2 picks from the Spurs. Like I think that would be cool all around. But then like De'Aaron Fox has like led the only good Kings team of my adulthood, and that's like not something that feels super great throwing away this early. So yeah, it's gonna be, we're in the zone. Like some weird shit is gonna happen, and I don't know. I'm like, it's also sort of the Kings' spiritual destiny to have bad stuff happen to them. So I feel pretty level-headed about it.
Right, you feel at home. There's a few kind of funny, the Sabonis Halliburton trade has like at any moment in history either been a win-win, a win-loss, a loss-win, or a loss-loss. Like
right now it's a lose-lose.
Yeah, like now it's kind of like, did both teams get worse somehow?
It's great.
So which is fun. That's a side of it. That's a balls on the wall trade.
The Warriors are also kind of eating shit right now, right? They lost by 50 to the Grizzlies the other day.
The only 2 things I wanted to really, well, one, this actually perfectly transitions because Keegan Murray and Kuminga have a similar thing, which is like they're when you're really in the weeds fandom wise, one of the things that is the most frustrating to navigate is when a exciting young player eventually becomes a role player. Mm-hmm. It's this person who you thought might have star pop, but then like their limitations do not go away. They do not fade away. They kind of like the promise of what they could be fades into the reality of what they are. And
that's a good way to put it.
You have to believe in the hope, because that's like how you win a championship, is that they pop in the right way. But Kuminga, for all kinds of reasons, just like hasn't developed in the way that he's a good player. Like he's whatever. He does certain things on the, he has probably outpaced the eighth pick in the draft in general, but he just isn't good enough at the things he needs to be good at. I brought up that list earlier of shots. Jonathan Kuminga is of all the players in that list, the list is mostly people like James Harden, De'Aaron Fox, Luka, LeBron James, superstars, and then it's a few outliers, but one of them being Kevin Porter Jr.
Oh boy,
not good quality, not good people.
You never want to be on a list with him in any context.
Yes, exactly, and Kuminga, and he just the person who shared the tweet that I was looking at, I don't have it in front of me, but said, which is I agree with this, is he's getting to these mid-ranges, but they're not easy looking mid-ranges because his handle isn't developed enough.
Yeah.
And like he's just not fluid enough of an offensive player, which is you have to be in the 99. You have to be fucking Shea. You have to be like really good to be a mid-range specialist. So we can't talk about this on this pod because we've already gone long, but I am like full LeBron to the Warriors. It's like the only narrative savior I have right now. Unfortunately, I was talking to my brother about it, and I was like, LeBron probably on his like little wellness break, like he was probably talking to the Warriors. And my brother was like, no, dude, like he was definitely in Germany getting blood transfusions. Yeah. And that like checked out to me in a way that I was like, fuck, he definitely was getting blood transfusions.
He was getting borderline illegal like stem cell shit done to his knees.
And I'm like, dog, like we got that in SF. Like you don't need to go to Germany. go like,
we'll biohack you right up the road, baby.
Exactly, dude. Yeah.
The thing with Kuminga that sort of bums me out is like in his rookie year when they won the title, I would just like, seemed like such a violent, huge athlete. And I feel like he doesn't really crush guys. Like he's kind of like that is changed in this way where he's like mostly a driver, and he's like can be a decent driver, but the handle isn't quite there. But I feel like the the lob threat, the like dunk on your head, the crazy stuff just doesn't really happen anymore.
Yeah, he has all the. I mean, this is just, everybody says this, but he has all the physical tools to be like a beloved, hard-nosed, like OG Anunoby style player, but just as, whatever, just isn't like that.
Doesn't have that dog in him.
Doesn't have
that particular dog.
That particular strand of dog in him. Yeah, exactly. We do have that dog in us. We are the nothing but respect.
I'm going to take that dog out for a walk after this. It sounds euphemistically actually very bad. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that. Hit us. Let us know who you think should be in the 2025 Celebrity All-Star. Let us know who do you think should be in the 2035 Celebrity All-Star Game. Like, are we talking is Z7-4D Elon Musk's kid in it? What do we think they're up to? Whatever. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Go check out Patrick on MSNBC. Go check out me on Middle Brow Podcast, and have a good freaking holidays.
Yeah, enjoy.
Woo.